It seems far in the distance. I put it on the altar, though it was mine. I put it on the altar. There's a greater city we have not seen. We're all waiting in the in-between. We're all seeking our homeland. We're all seeking our homeland. We're all seeking our homeland. We're all seeking our homeland.
Good morning, lights. Today we're discussing your thoughts and your wild mind. How to control it. We all wonder sometimes, how can we stop the relentless flow of thoughts, especially if they are negative and make you feel bad? I am here to tell you that it is possible to see the mind as either a thing, a tool, or an object. It may be viewed as a flow of energy. Understanding your mind, the first method, tends to strengthen your feeling of self, but understanding your mind the second way tends to disintegrate your sense of self. One of the dangers of treating the mind as an object is that if it acts in certain ways, you may begin to believe that you are in some ways flawed. If you can't control your anger or your feelings of malice against others, you could conclude that something is wrong with you. That's a problem, since it leads to blaming yourself for issues that you can't control. It also causes individuals to see mental health difficulties as moral flaws rather than biological ones, which further perpetuates stigma and makes them reluctant to seek assistance. All of this pressure may be relieved by considering oneself to be nothing more than a stream of energy that passes through you. You'll notice that the mind is full of unusual and even contradicting notions if you start paying attention to it as an observer. Thoughts that are a result of your upbringing and culture, as well as the influence of others. Why? Because they're not really you, after all. Become an impartial observer by training your own thinking. Say to yourself, whenever the idea occurs, "The thought of that just occurred to me. Okay, so I'll take a closer look now. What happened to it? And what else is going on right now? My physical reaction to this concept is also being assessed." In addition, when you learn to be an objective spectator of the mind, you may watch the ideas come up and go without becoming caught up in them or feeling that they are really your own. As an outsider, you may see their strange ideas, which liberates you from being conditioned or reactive in your thinking. Observe and challenge your thoughts rather than trusting what your mind tells you. Is this an idea that I can believe in? What prompted this thought? If you sit by a river, you can become an observer of the currents of thoughts in that flow through your mind, just like the water does. While someone sits in the woods and watches as the birds fly by, you may sit and watch. Look into yourself and see what you come up with. It's possible you'll be taken aback by how it works. Do you automatically believe what you think about? Your awareness is the source of all your ideas. Thoughts are just things that happen to you, not you. So pay attention to your thoughts and ask yourself, what's going on? What happens, for example, if you decide to get up from this chair and make a cup of coffee? You have the bright idea of brewing some coffee. Do you believe it when I say that it will arrive? What if I told you the majority of people don't even question what they're thinking? If you believe every concept that comes up in your head, why do you have to? Please allow me to pose a question to you. When you wake up in the morning, what do you think about? In your head, do you have any ideas or images? Were there any others? What do you think about the reality of your ideas and images? What do you think about the permanence of your ideas and images? In spite of the fact that they may shift from moment to moment, do you have faith in your ideas and images? What causes ideas and pictures to form? How do they appear and disappear without your permission? In the beginning, it will be difficult to be an impartial observer of your own thoughts. You'll be prone to believing anything your mind tells you. As a result, we've been taught to trust everything our brains tell us. At first, being an observer of your own thoughts might be disconcerting since it requires a new style of thinking. However, becoming an objective observer of your thoughts takes time, patience, and experience. Stop giving your thoughts so much influence over your life with this easy practice. The more you do this, the more control you will have over your thoughts. You will begin to get a glimpse of your true nature when you allow your thoughts to slow down and finally settle down. To understand yourself, you must go underneath your conditioned self-image. Stop identifying with the voice in your brain, and you'll begin to feel yourself as pure awareness, free of judgment or opinion. When you tune out the fast-moving flow of thoughts, this is the place where you may really express yourself. A peaceful mind and an open heart can only be achieved via meditation. Many people differ on what exactly constitutes meditation. Meditation is derived by some spiritual systems as a practice that isolates the practitioner from the rest of creation. In fact, the only thing you're doing when you meditate is teaching your mind to focus on what's important to you. By narrowing your concentration in this manner, you might learn more about who and what is underneath the ideas and diversions that occupy your mind. To be present and alert, you must be in the here and now and not be distracted by what's going on around you. Every moment of our lives is filled with thoughts, feelings, and sensations, and most of us respond to them in some way. Thoughts, emotions, and experiences are all that we have control over in our lives. We have no control over life in this state. As a consequence, our reactions to the environment around us, we exacerbate our own and others' issues. Try as you may, attempting to alter your behavior without getting some space from your ideas is like trying to drain another leaking pail of water. You were undoubtedly taught as a child that ideas are manifestations of the mind. In truth, they are not, and this difference is critical to grasp. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that ideas are only a reflection of your mind, which leads to an unhealthy obsession with self-control. There is a tendency to overlook that they are merely a fleeting display of feelings ideas, and experiences. It is impossible for you to control what you think about. You have no control over or whether anything will come up in your mind. As if by magic, thoughts begin to appear out of thin air. Despite this, the vast majority of individuals feel that they are to blame. I really should think about such and such, or I've been thinking about this for far too long, are examples of people who believe they have some control over their thought process. Misconceptions about the mind and the way it interacts with thoughts are implicit in these kinds of comments, and they may lead to unneeded pain. You may use this technique to remove yourself from the substance of your ideas and stop blaming yourself for having particular thoughts by seeing them as neutral occurrences. When you've mastered the skill of being a mindful observer of your thoughts, you'll discover your actual self. When you come to that conclusion, everything in your life changes. Miracles begin to occur at this point. Awaiting your arrival at that precise time is the fifth dimension. So we encourage you to practice meditation as often as you can. Take a break and have fun. This year is all about you, so believe in yourself. As always, we love you deeply and wish for you to have the most abundant and joyous life possible. Have a wonderful day.
Is there anybody out there? I think I need a lifeline. I've been drifting through the darkness, looking for the sunrise. Sometimes it feels like we're so far away, trying to keep our heads above the waves.